Hey guys, how you doing? It's Scott from Scott's Bass Lessons again. I've had a load of emails over the last few months concerning this bass, and it's kind of an accident how I actually started using it. As many of you know that have been following me right from the start, I've actually got my own signature series bass from Overwater. This is an Overwater as well, but what I found with the signature series is that I strung the instrument slightly different. It's a 5-string, and instead of stringing it B to G like a normal 5-string, I actually strung it E to C, which was cool for me, but with you guys trying to follow the lessons, because a lot of you, or the main majority of you, were dealing with a normal sort of E to G or B to G stringing, you know, it was just so confusing. So I contacted Overwater and said, you know, is there any chance I can get a 4-string off you? And they were like, yeah, sure, you know. And they knew what I wanted, so they sort of like put something together for me. And it's kind of turned into a little bit of project between us, because I actually kind of fell in love with the 4-string, and I really didn't mean to. I took it out on some gigs. You know, what I was doing, I was playing this on the lessons, and then I was using the signature series in on gigs and stuff like that. But I took this to some rehearsals and stuff like that, just because I thought, you know, I'll just check out what it sounds like in the band, and it actually sounded really good. So now I'm in that, you know, I've actually got 2 great basses now, you know. So for a lot of the chordal stuff and the soloistic type stuff I use the old, not the old, it's only like 2 years old, the signature series bass. And then at the minute, you know, I'm using this a lot in live situations as well. And I just thought I'd talk you through exactly what's different about this than a regular jazz bass, because I did get them to change some stuff to suit my needs. The first big difference that you'd feel if you picked it up is the neck width. It's really slim, and that's because I really like a tight string spacing. Down here at the bridge, it's about, off the top of my head, I think it's about 16.5, but it could be 16 mil in between each string. And on a normal jazz bass, that's anything from, I think the average is 19. I think it's 19, but it could even be 20. I think some 4-strings are 18, but you know, normally they're between 19 and 20. And if you haven't messed around with string spacing before, it really does make a big difference. I'm talking millimeters here, but when you play it, it's like, whoa, if I pick up a normal jazz bass now, it feels like, you know, there's a mile between each string. So that was the first thing that's different, is the string spacing, and obviously the neck's slimmer because of that. And it's quite slim front to back as well. It's got a nice bird's eye maple neck on it, and I didn't ask for the bird's eye specifically. I think they just thought, oh well, he wants something fancy, so we'll give him a bird's eye maple neck. The neck joint that Overwater have used on this, even though it looks completely normal, it's actually slightly different, and they do this on a lot of their bolt-on basses. In fact, all of their bolt-on basses, they angle the way the bolts go into the body. So instead of like on a normal instrument, they'd go directly down. On Overwaters, they put them in at an angle, so the bolts are going in at a slight angle like that, and that's so the neck actually gets pulled into the body, so there's more wood, the connection between the wood here in the socket, it's just a tighter fit, and therefore more resonance. When you get more resonance when you play it. Other things, pickups are Overwater pickups. They use this thing called a ghost coil. Now I'm not going to go into the electronic side of things because I don't know anything about it, but basically they are single coils, but they've got what they call a ghost coil underneath. So it's a single coil with a ghost coil, another coil underneath that isn't doing anything. Now, if I was an electronic genius, or I'm not a genius, I knew anything about electronics, I'd be able to tell you why this works. Basically, it's a hum cancelling thing. That's why they put it there. I'm not sure if it affects anything else, but it sounds great. Circuitry-wise, it's completely passive. They did actually put a battery compartment in there for me. We'll open it up and you'll find there's absolutely nothing in there. And I asked them to do that just because I wanted, in case I did want active electronics, I wanted them to try it out, or have the option of trying it out. But as I said, this is kind of the first prototype of the jazz basses that we're making for me. At the minute, they have made a wenge neck, or wengy neck, wengy? I think it's called Wengi. But they've made a wenge neck that I'll be trying out over the next few weeks to see what that's like. I really do like the jazz bass sound, but I just want to, I've never seen a jazz bass with that Wengi neck, and I just think I'm really into that wood tonality, and I really love it on necks. I've got it on my signature bass, and it adds a certain compression to the sound, so I really want to check that out on this bass. If it takes too much away from the jazz tonality that I'm into, I probably won't use it, but I'm just going to check it out, you know, and hopefully it will be, you know, part of the signature model that they will be releasing soon, so keep an eye out on Overwater's website. Other than that, everything's pretty much stock. Other than that, you know, machine heads are normal, you know. The bridge actually is separate bridge units, and this is so we can get that tighter string spacing, which I wanted. I wanted that really tight string spacing between here. The body is just swamp ash, and I wanted swamp ash because it's nice and light, and if you spend hours and hours standing on gigs, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when you do end up with a really achy back. So I wanted it really nice and light, and also light woods, they sound wicked, you know. The Overwater signature I've got is probably about £9.5, and tonally that's a really strong bass. It cuts through in the mix, and it's great for chords because you get the separation of the notes when you're playing it. If you play that on an instrument like this with a lighter wood, the chords might not sound and ring as true because the wood isn't as dense in the body, and it does affect the way it resonates and things like that. So with this, I'm really happy with the swamp ash body because it does add to that kind of jazz bass vibe, and it gives a nice spring to the sound, which I really do like. So other than that, this is it. This is the first prototype Scott Divine J series through Overwater basses, and I'm gonna, when I get the Wengi neck from them, I'm gonna, you know, listen to the tonal qualities and differences between them, and from there we'll decide. I know they haven't released this bass yet if you're watching it right now. If this has been on YouTube for about 5 months, it probably has been released, so you can go to their website and check it out. But yeah, we're going to listen to the tonal qualities between the necks and see what that vibe is. I really do think you should investigate what woods you prefer on basses as well, because this is something I wasn't really privy to when I was younger. I really didn't understand what the tonal qualities were of the different woods that basses are made out of, and it really, as I've looked more and more into it, it really helps me kind of nail that sound that I'm after, because for me the wood's the foundation of the sound. The electronics and stuff are secondary. It's the wood that I'm really interested in. Has it got a rosewood fingerboard? Has it got a maple fingerboard? What's the body wood? Is it swamp ash? Is it walnut, alder? You know, there's all these different things that can have a really, really big effect on the sound. If you haven't been to my website yet, it's scottsbasslessons.com, and the link is right below this video if you're watching it on YouTube. Other than that, take it easy. I'll see you soon and get in the shed.